So yesterday we created a project called what? List view dynamic is a project. Okay, let's select this list view dynamic. So first in our activity XML file, just we created a list view component we created in the activity XML file. So in our activity XML file we created what? A list view component we created in the activity XML. Next we got that list view component, we got into activity code, we got that list view component. I think this is not our example. List view. This is not our example. List view dynamic. List view custom is our example. Yeah. So in the activity XML file we created list view component we created in the activity XML file. We created what? A list view component we created, and for presenting the data in your activity code, Java code, just we got the list view component we got into our Java code. So now for that list view component we are setting the adapter we are setting. So we create our own adapter class called myAdapter, which is a subtype of base adapter class, having 4 abstract methods. getCount method. The getCount method we specified the source we specified, I mean where the files are available. Okay. So return type of this getCount method is nothing but return files.length. So now in this getView method, how many files are available in that specified path, that many files we are presenting here. So in which format you want to display the user interface, we created an XML file we created for that user interface. We created an Imagery component we created, 2 text view components we created, and we created a delete button we created. So in this format we want to display the user interface, one Imagery component, 2 text view components, and a delete button we created, right? So we are converting, but programmatically we had to create that user interface. But yesterday we discussed, right, there are 2 disadvantages of creating the user interface programmatically. One is complex user interface we cannot design using programmatically. Next, we had to write a lot of logic, just for designing even the simple user interface also. That's why we prefer to design the user interface in XML. Okay, we create the XML file we created, layout individual views XML. We are converting that XML file, we are converting into a view object we are converting, and we are returning that view object we are returning. So now here, yesterday we seen the output also we seen. Yesterday we seen the output also we seen. I'll show you once again the output. Okay, list view custom is a project name. So this is our yesterday's application. How many files are available in that specific path? We are getting all the list of files, and we are presenting the data in a list view component. We are presenting the data. Now the requirement is, so now here in place of this dummy image, we had to place the actual image which is available in the sample images folder. Just for demonstration, we taken a folder called sample images in the storage. We place some files, we place that sample images folder. So now I want to get that image I want to get, and I want to set that image I want to set to the image view component I want to set here. File name I want to get, that name I want to set to the text view 1 component. But file size I want to get, I want to set to text view 2 component I want to set. Okay. So now here in the getView method, we specified in which format we want to present. We create XML file we created. Now this individual XML file contains, how many times this getView method is going to call, how many times this getView method is going to call, how many files are available in that specific path, that many times this getView method is going to be called. Now here, this individual XML file contains 4 UI components, one image view component and 2 text view components and a delete button and a delete button. Let's see, are we configured the IDs for these components? No, we have not configured the IDs. Let's configure the IDs for these components because we require these components we require into Java code. Let's configure the ID. It's image view, I view. Okay. Next, get two text view components, right? We'll configure the IDs for these components also. We'll configure the IDs. Okay. So TV1, TV2, and image view, I view, and there is another button called delete button. I want to configure the click event for this delete button. So let's configure the ID for this. ID is equals to DL. Okay. So now we design the user interface we design, and we configure the IDs also we configured. Now get these UI components into your adapter class. Get these UI components into your adapter class getView method. So we have to get the image view component. We have to get image view is equals to image view of, specify the view object, specify what? The view object dot, there is a method called find view by ID is a method. View object dot, what is the method name? Find view by ID is a method. Find view by ID is a method. Specify the ID of that particular component. R dot ID dot R dot ID dot, specify the ID of that image view component, image view. Okay, first we have to get the image view component. We have to get. Next, there are two text view components are there. Get the two text view components also into your activity code. Text view 1 is equals to view object dot, what is the method name? Find view by ID, R dot ID dot text view 1. Text view 2 is equals to text view v dot find view by ID, R dot ID dot text view 2. The individual XML file we configured the IDs, right? TV1 and TV2 IDs we configured. Why is showing a TV2 error? @ plus ID slash TV2 is ID we configured. So we got the text v1 component and text v2 component, and we got the image view component also we got into Java code. Next, we create a button we created in the XML file. Get that button component into your Java code. Button find view by ID, R dot ID dot delete button. Okay, meaning now we got the individual UI component. Now we got the UI component from the individual XML. We got the UI component from what? From the individual XML file we got the UI component. Now for this image view component, in place of the default image, we had to specify the image which is available in that sample images folder. In this sample images folder, okay, the first image I want to get, and I want to set that image I want to set to the image view component. See, we got the list of file names we got. And we stored that list of file names we stored into an array we stored. What is the array name? Files is the array name. We got the list of file names. We stored the list of file names into an array we stored. That is, array name is nothing but files. And this is the path we specified. Right? So we'll pass the index for this array. And we'll get the value we'll get from the array. Okay. So here, for image view component, I want to set the image I want to set. Image view dot. There is a method called set image URI is a method. But before that, first specify the file object. Globally we declared the path object we already declared up to this sample images folder. Globally we declared the path object we declared up to the sample images folder. Now inside the sample images folder, based on the index we had to get the file we had to get based on the index. File names we already stored into an array we stored. What is the array name? This files is the array name. So we had to pass the position we had to pass. So based on the position, we'll get the file name we'll get. See here. So let's specify the path here first. String new path is equals to path plus. See, already we stored the path up to we stored what? Up to the sample images folder we specified the path. Now inside that sample images folder slash inside that sample images folder, I want to get the individual file name I want to get. That file names we already stored into an array we stored. What is the array name? Files is the array name. So this path is available up to sample images folder. So I specified path plus, even you don't require this, it's not required. Inside that sample images folder, path plus files of one of the input parameter for this getView method is nothing but position. One of the input parameter for this getView method is nothing but what? Position is one of the input parameter. Okay, so if it is a 0 index value, you'll get 0. I mean, first record, second record, you'll get 1, third record, 2 will get. So you're getting the index we are getting. If you pass this index, if you pass to an array, we'll get the value we'll get from the array, we'll get the value. Okay, so now we got the individual file object we got. But it's a normal string object. We had to convert this string object, we had to convert into file object, we had to convert. File f underscore new is equals to new file of, specify the path here, new path. So file f underscore new is equals to what? New file of new underscore path. Okay, so we got the file object we got. I mean the individual file, how many items are available in that specified folder, that many times this loop is going to be repeat. We are getting the individual file object we are getting here. So now we'll set that file object will set to the Image Uri component will set. So Image Uri dot, there is a method called set Image Uri is a method. Image Uri dot, what is the method name? Set Image Uri is a method. So we have to specify URI dot from file of. URI dot from file of. Let's specify the file object. URI dot from file of. Let's specify the file object. Which file you want to set to the Image Uri component? Let's specify that file object. Image Uri dot set Image Uri of. URI dot from file of. Specify the file object. Next, we had to set that file name, we had to set to the TextView1 component, and file size we had to specify to the TextView2 component, we had to specify. For TextView1 component, I want to set the name of the file I want to set. tv1.set text of files of position. Okay, so based on the position, we can get the file name we are getting from the array. That name we are setting to the TextView1 component, we are setting the name, and we want to set the file size, we want to set to the TextView2 component, we want to set the file size. TextView2 dot, there is a method called set text. See, we are having a file object, right? F underscore new, we are having a file object we are having. Now this f underscore new dot, there is a method called length is a method. So if you call the length method, you'll get the total size of the file you will get. You'll get what? The total size of the file, and the length of this file you will get, basically you will get in a bytes format. You will get f underscore new dot length plus bytes. We are setting the file, file size we are getting. Basically, if you call that file object dot length, you'll get the total length you'll get in a length of bytes you will get. Okay, so I'm specifying appending the text I'm appending called bytes. Okay, we are setting that file we are setting to the Image Uri component, file name we are setting to the TextView1 component, and file size we are setting to the TextView2 component we are setting. Next, whenever user select the delete button, we had to remove that file we had to remove. Whenever user selects the delete button, we had to remove that file we had to remove. Okay, so if you want to remove that file, so first we had to configure the click event for a button. See, in our initial classes we discussed, right? There are two ways to configure a click event. One is the XML configuration, second thing is a Java configuration. One thing is what? XML configuration, second thing is Java configuration. So here we had to configure through XML or Java. Through Java we had to configure, because how you'll configure through XML, how many methods you'll create, right? So we had to configure the click event, we had to configure through Java, we had to configure. Let's specify here delete button dot, there is a method called set on click listener is a method. Programmatically we are configuring the click event, we are configuring for a button. Delete button dot set on click listener. See, what is the input parameter for this on click listener method? Input parameter for this on click listener method is nothing but object of on click listener is the input parameter. So we have to specify the object of new operator of on click listener. Specify the object of on click listener class. Specify the object of what? On click listener. So whenever you click the delete button, it's going to call this method. It's going to call which method? On click listener method is going to call. Whenever user select the delete button, it's going to call this on click method is going to call. Okay. So now here in this on click method, what is the logic you want to perform? Let's write the logic here. What is the logic you want to perform? We want to remove that particular file we want to remove. So we are having the file object, right? We are having this file object f underscore new. We are having the file object. Let's remove that file. This f underscore new dot. There is a method called delete is a method. Delete the file. F underscore new dot delete is a method. It's showing an error. It is showing error is nothing but if you are accessing any class variables inside the listener. If you are accessing any class variables inside the listener, that variable should be declared as a global variable. That variable should be declared as what? Declared as local variable, or it should be declared with a final modifier. I'm staying very near to railway station, so that's why you'll get these kind of horns you'll get. Okay. So file f is equals to new file object. Let's specify the path object. So if you're accessing any class variables inside the listener, okay, that should be declared as a global variable or declare the variable with the final modifier. Okay. So I'll repeat once again what is the logic we written. From our yesterday's class. Yesterday what we did is just we created the XML file we created. We converted the XML file, we converted into view object, we converted, and we are returning that view object, we are returning that view object, we are returning to the get view method. But today's class, what is the logic written? See, this individual XML file contains 4 UI components. What are the 4 UI components? An image view component, 2 text view components, and a delete button. So we got these 4 UI components, we got into Java code, we got this image view, text view, delete button. We got these 4 UI components, we got into Java code, we got these 4 UI components. Okay. So we got these 4 UI components, we got into Java code, we got image view, text view, 2 text view components, and delete button. Okay. So based on the file index, one of the input parameter for this get view method is nothing but position. Okay. So based on this position, I'm getting the individual file I'm getting from the array. Based on the position, I'm getting the individual file I'm getting from the array, and I'm setting that file I'm setting to the image view component. There is a method called imageview.set image Uri is a method, meaning we are specifying the file is available in the internal storage. Uri.from file of, let's specify the file object, which file you want to set. That file name we are setting to the text view 1 component. File size we are setting to the text view 2 component. And whenever user select the delete button, we are removing that file we are removing. Okay. Let's run the application. See whether it is working or not. It's loading still. Okay, so now we got the actual files we got. These are all the actual images which are available in the sample images folder, in my phone sample images folder. It's a list view component. It's what? A list view component with the custom adapter. We created our own user interface. We are displaying on the individual item. These are all the list of available in the sample images folder. Okay. Now my requirement is, if when user select a particular delete button, we are removing that file we are removing. We already written that logic we already written. Whenever user select the delete button, we are removing that file we are removing, right? See, I'm selected delete button, I selected delete button, I selected, but it's not removing any file, it's not removing. But I'm selecting the delete button, I'm selecting, but it's not removing the file. The reason is nothing but there are two things are there. The two things are nothing but, first thing, in your manifest.xml file, in your Android manifest.xml file, so first of all, we have not taken the permissions, we have not taken. We are deleting a file, meaning we are modifying the storage information we are modifying. If you are removing the storage information, let's add the permissions for this, called write external storage. We had to add this permission, we had to add. Which permission? Write external storage permission we had to add in manifest.xml, because we are modifying the storage information we are modifying. So that's why we had to add this permission we had to add. Okay. And second thing is nothing but we are performing the delete, but we are performing the delete operation we are performing. Okay, fine. But after presenting the data on the screen, then we are performing the remove operation we are performing. You understand, right? After presenting the data on the screen, then we are performing the delete operation we are performing. Okay. So what we had to do is, once the file is removed, once again we had to reset that adapter. Once again we had to reset the adapter. We had to reset, or let's see, is there any possibility here? Let's take. I'll send you that recordation. I'll send you. Okay. I'm recording the session. I'm recording. Just after the class, I'll send through mail. I'll send you. Okay. So list view.set adapter, specify the adapter object. What we had to do is, once if the file is removed, our requirement is we had to reset the adapter. We had to reset the adapter object. We had to reset. But otherwise, there is another method is there. Okay, let's better do one thing. Anyway, we are getting this activity object. We are getting, right, in the adapter class. We are getting the activity object. We are getting as the input parameter for this adapter class. What we had to do is just create a method here called public void refresh is a method. Public void, what is the method name? Refresh is a method. Public void refresh is the method. In this refresh method, just once again call these two lines of logic. List view is equals to list view dot set adapter. This method is there, right? Call this method once again. This set the adapter to the list view component. This logic I moved into a separate method called what? Refresh is a method name. Refresh is the method. So now what we have to do is, whenever user select the delete button, here, we are removing the file we are removing. Then after that, what we had to do is, we had to refresh the adapter. We had to refresh the adapter. We had to refresh. Meaning here, we are having that activity object we are having. So global activity object dot we create a method in the current activity class. What is the method name? Refresh is the method. So once if you call the refresh method, so it's going to reset the adapter. That's it. Meaning we are calling internally, we are calling this refresh method we are calling. So in this refresh method, we are setting the adapter, we are setting to the list view component. Okay, let's run the application. Okay, app is installed. Now see here, once if you click the delete button, now the file is removed. File is removed as well as the list view is also refreshed automatically. If you select this delete button for a shirt, this shirt I'm removing here. Now that file is removed and the list view is not, automatically it's reflected on the list view component. Okay, this is list view component with custom adapter. List view component with what? Custom adapter. List view with custom adapter. Any queries? Any queries in this list view with custom adapter? I'll send you the source code also. I'll send you. Okay. After this session. So no queries, right? Okay. So now here, there are two more UI components are there. Basically, there are 5 UI components for presenting the data. If you have some data, if you want to show the data to the user, there are total 5 UI components in Android. The 5 UI components are nothing but one is autocomplete text view is one UI component. If you are having some data, if you want to show the data to the user, there are 5 UI components in Android. One is autocomplete text view is one UI component. A spinner is another UI component. Yes, if you want, you can give a pop-up message like, are you sure you want to delete? If yes, then perform the delete operation. If no, simply dismiss the dialog box. We'll discuss in the coming classes how to display that pop-up messages. Okay. So autocomplete text view, spinner, a list view. Okay. So these 3 UI components we discussed. There are 2 more UI components called gallery is one UI component. The last thing is nothing but grid view. Gallery and grid view. Basically, these 5 UI components is used to present the data. If you are having some data, if you want to show the data to the user, use either any one of these 5 UI components. That is based on your requirement. So now we discuss list view component. Next we'll discuss a gallery component. Difference between list view and gallery is nothing but list view is used to present the data in a vertical format. Gallery is used to present the data in a horizontal format. List view is used to present the data in a vertical format. Gallery is used to present the data in a horizontal format. If you want to present the data in a horizontal format, then we use the gallery component we use. So let's take a requirement. For example, in my phone, external storage. So let me test the path in which folder the videos are available. If you don't understand the custom adapter concept, try to understand once again, because here also we are going to discuss gallery component with the custom adapter. Okay, so you got a chance to understand once again the custom adapter concept. So listen carefully. In my phone, external storage ext SD card, there is a folder called video space songs is a folder name. Video space songs is a folder, or otherwise this video songs folder contains some videos. Okay, so in the device external storage, see what is the path? Storage ext SD card. In the external storage directory, Video space songs is a folder name. It contains few video files. Now my requirement is I want to play these videos I want to play. I want to play these video files I want to play. Okay, I want to play what? Those video files I want to play. See here, my requirement is horizontally I want to present the data. Horizontally I want to present the data. If you want to present the data in a horizontal format, if you want to present any data horizontally, if you want to present the data, then we use a component called gallery component we use. Horizontally, if you want to present the data, then we got a UI component called what? So gallery component. That's what custom adapter. We are repeating once again. We are repeating. Even the gallery component also, I'm using the custom adapter concept only. I'm using. Okay. So here, vertically, if you want to present the data, then we use a component called list view component. Horizontally, if you want to present any data, then we use a component called gallery. See here, what is the requirement? In my phone storage, external storage means how will represent the part ext, SD card, external storage. What is the folder name? Video space songs is a folder name, right? Okay, so I want to get the list of videos from this path. I want to get the list of videos I want to get from this path, and I want to present in this format. I want to present here. I want to display the video preview. I want to display here. I want to display what? The video preview I want to display here. And here I want to create a checkbox. I want to create what? One checkbox. What is a video file name? I want to display the video file name I want to display. For displaying the video files, here we use a UI component called video view component we use. For displaying the video files, we use a UI component called what? Video view is a UI component. Like this, how many videos are available in that sample images, that my videos folder. I want to get all the list of video files I want to get, and I want to present the data in this format I want to present. This is one video file and this is another video file. So if you slide horizontally, if you slide horizontally, you will get the list of items you will get. So horizontally, if you want to present any data, then we use a component called what? Gallery component we use. And for presenting the data in this format, we use the custom adapter concept we use. For presenting the data in this format, we use what? Custom adapter. In this type of user interface, a video view component, and so this is nothing but custom adapter. I want to present the data, individual data I want to present in this format I want to present. For this, we'll create what? A custom adapter concept we will use. Okay. Now let's see how to work with this gallery component with custom adapter. Let's create a project. Let's create a new project. File, new. Select this new project. File, new project. Specify the project name, or application name. So I want to create a project with the name gallery test. I want to create a project with the name what? Gallery test is a project name. So create a project called gallery test. Okay, click on next. Again next, and take empty activity. Take what? Empty activity. Next. Now while you are demonstrating also, in your phone storage, just create some dummy path like how I created the video, song, sample images. Put some videos into that folder and try to display in this format. Okay. But in the real-time requirement may be different. Like you will get the response from the server. You have to present the data in this format. But in the future we'll discuss those concepts. But these are the basics first. Okay. So in our activity XML file, first I want to display the user interface in a horizontal format. I want to display, not in a vertical format. I want to see the application in a horizontal format. I want to see. Let's turn the orientation from portrait to landscape here. Let's turn the orientation from portrait to what? Landscape. We turn the orientation to landscape. We turn the orientation. Okay. So remove this one. Here, I want to create a UI component called gallery component. I want to create in this XML file. In this activity XML file, I want to create a UI component. I want to create called gallery component. I want to create. So here, I want to create a UI component called what? Gallery. Specify what is the width and height for this. I specified max occupy the entire screen width and screen height. And let's configure the ID for this because we require this component we required into Java code. I configured the ID I configured as G1 is ID I configured. So in our activity XML file, we created a UI component called gallery component we created. We created a UI component called what? Gallery component we created, and we configured the ID we configured called G1. This gallery component we had to get into Java code. We had to get in your activity class, get this gallery component into your Java code. In your activity class, in this onCreate method, let's initialize this gallery component. Yes, it's deprecated. To say frankly, list view, gallery, and grid view, these three components are not using in the industry right now. Okay, these three UI components are not using in the industry right now. These components are replaced with, that's why I told initially only. These components are replaced with the UI component called recycler view. Okay, but directly you cannot understand the recycler view component. You cannot understand. If you want to understand the recycler view concept, first of all, you need to have a knowledge on what exactly the custom adapter. Okay, if you understand the custom adapter concept, then we'll discuss what are the disadvantages in custom adapter, then what is the need of prefer to go for recycler view component. Okay, understood? We'll discuss this recycler view component. We'll discuss in our advanced standard. We'll discuss this recycler view concept. Recycler view, card view, snack bar, skittle menu, action bar. Okay, floating action button. There are a lot of advanced UI components are there. But before going to understand those concepts, you need to have a knowledge on these basic concepts. You need to have a knowledge. So understand? Understand? Okay. So in the XML file, we create a UI component called gallery component.
One more thing.
Yes.
How do you get the circular images there? Is it a class or?
Which one?
The Twitter image that you had and all the other things. You are getting circular image, right?
Image only are taken as a circular. I mean, image only the circular.
Oh, it's just that the image itself is circular, is it?
Yes, yes. And programmatically also.
Because I got a class.
Programmatically also,
Because
image as circular.
Oh, okay.
Programmatically also you can get the image as circular, but a Twitter image, whatever I taken, the default is a circular image.
Okay. Because I happened to something and then I got circular image view. That's why I'm wondering if.
In the XML file itself, you got a circular image, you know.
Yes. Circled image view. There is a class called that. So I just want to know if Android is making that image circular or are you just using a circle image?
Programmatically, you have to change that one.
Oh.
The XML file we create a gallery, and we got the gallery component get into Java code by using find UI ID r.id gallery object. Okay. See, now I want to present the values I want to present in this format. I display a video view component, and below the video view component, I want to display file name on checkbox. Here one rule is nothing but whenever user tick the checkbox, then start playing the video file. If user untick the checkbox, then stop playing the video file. This is a requirement. So directly it should not play the video files. It should not play. If I tick the checkbox, then start playing the video file. So if you untick the checkbox, then stop playing the video file. This is a requirement. Okay. So here, let's create a custom adapter first. So what is the first step for creating a custom adapter? We had to create a class. We had to create a Java class. We had to create called myAdapter. MyAdapter. This adapter class should be a subtype of what? What is the first step for creating a custom adapter? It should be a subtype of base adapter class. Extends base adapter. This is the first step. This is the first step. So we had to this base adapter is an abstract class which contains 4 abstract methods. So we had to override that 4 abstract methods. We had to override. Implement methods. It contains 4 abstract methods. Provide the implementation for that 4 abstract methods: get count, get item ID, and get view. Now in this get count method, we have to specify how many items you want to present like this. If you want to get that count, first of all, you have to specify path. You have to specify from where you want to get the list of files. Let's specify the path. String path is equals to, I want to get the list of files I want to get from the storage. In the external storage, right? What is external storage path? ext SD card. In the device external storage, folder name is nothing but video songs is a folder name. Video space songs is a folder. Okay. So I want to get the list of files I want to get from this path. I want to get the list of files. It's a normal string object. Let's convert this string object to a file object. File f is equals to new file of, specify the path here. File f is equals to what? New file of path. And I want to get the list of files I want to get from this path. I want to get the list of files. If we call this f.list is a method, f.list is a method, you'll get the list of files from that specific path. The return type of this method is nothing but string array is a return type. A return type of this method is nothing but what? String array is a return type of this list method. So we got the list of files we got, and we stored that list of files we stored into one string array we stored. What is array name? Files is the array name we specified. Okay. Now in the get count method, so we had to specify files dot length. We had to specify what? Files dot length. We had to specify. So how many files are available in that array? We specified that count size. We specified return files dot length. Okay. Next, in this getView method, whatever the user interface you want to display in the individual item, so we had to create that user interface. We had to create. Basically, we are familiar of creating the user interface with XML. That XML file we had to convert into what? View object we had to convert. For this conversion, there is a class called layout inflator is a class. Okay. First, what we'll do is, in which format you want to present the user interface. For this, in which format you want to present the user interface, we had to create an XML file we had to create for that user interface. In which format you want to create the user interface, we had to create what? An XML file we had to create for that user interface. For this, we had to create what? An XML file we had to create for this user interface. Simple was, I want to create a video view component I want to create, and below the video view component I want to create one checkbox I want to create. A video view component and a checkbox we have to create. Let's create a new XML file layout. Let's create a new layout resource file. Specify the XML file name. I'm specifying the XML file name as individual view is the XML file name. Individual view is the XML file name. I'm taking the UI group as linear layout only. Click on this OK button. So now here in the individual XML file, let's create a video view component. Inside this linear layout, we'll create a UI component called video view component. We'll create. Let's create a UI component called what? Video view. What is the width and height? I'm specifying width is 200 dp. 200 dp is the width and 200 dp is the height of that particular UI component. 200 dp and 200 dp. We'll configure the ID for this component. ID is equals to video view 1 is the ID. Video view 1 is the ID for this video view component. And below this video view component, I want to create a checkbox. I want to create for displaying the file name. Width, I'm applying the specific size 200 dp, and height I'm specifying for this is 40 dp is the height. And let's specify the ID for this component because we require this component into Java code. ID is equals to cb1 checkbox 1. Specify the text size. I'm specifying 20 sp is the text size. So 20 means maybe you'll get very large. 10 sp I specified, or 15 sp. Specify the default text initially. Like default text is equals to specifying file name. What I want to display here? I want to display the file name I want to display. So select this design. So once if you select this design, once if you select, you get the XML code. Here we create a video view component we created, and below the video view component we created on checkbox we created. We created a video view component we created, and below the video view component we created one checkbox we created below the video view component. Okay, this is a individual view. This is what the individual view. Okay, so now in the adapter class, first what we had to do is, in your activity class we got the gallery component we got, right? In the activity class we got the gallery component we got. For this gallery component I want to set the adapter. I want to set the gallery component dot, there is a method called set adapter is a method. Gallery component dot set adapter is a method. We had to specify the object of your custom adapter class. We had to specify the object of your custom adapter class. So my custom adapter class name is my adapter is a class. Gallery component dot set adapter, specify the object of your custom adapter class. What is our custom adapter class name? My adapter is a class. Okay, for this my adapter class I'm specifying this, I mean the current activity object I'm sending as an input parameter to my adapter class. Okay, in the my adapter class there should be a constructor which is returning the activity object as an input. So here I'm creating one constructor. I'm creating constructor means just like a method, how we'll declare the method, but you cannot give your own method name. We had to give the method name with same class name. I hope you know, right, what exactly constructor. Let's create a constructor my adapter which is taking the activity object as a input, main activity object as a input. But the scope of this activity variable, the scope of this activity variable is nothing but within this block. Outside the block you cannot access this. So that's why we'll declare a global variable. We will declare a global variable and assign this local variable to a global variable. I mean this dot activity is equals to this dot activity is equals to what? Activity. The scope of this activity object is nothing but within this block. If you want to access outside the block, you cannot access. That's why I created a global variable I declared so that you can access anywhere from the program, right? Okay. Now here, return type of this getView method is nothing but the view object. But here, we created the user interface in XML. We created the user interface. So we had to convert that XML user interface. We had to convert into view object. For that, there is a class called layout inflator is a class. Layout inflated dot from, specify the activity object, activity. Next, we require the object of view class. View v is equals to inflated dot. Inflated dot. There is a method called inflate is a method. Inflated dot inflate is a method. We had to specify the XML file. Which XML file you want to convert into view object? Let's specify the XML file. r.layout dot individual view is a XML. And second parameter is a view group object. Second parameter is what? A view group object. It's an optional parameter. We'll specify what? Null will specify. It's an optional parameter. We'll specify null will specify. The return type of this getView method is nothing but view object is a return type. Return type of this getView method is nothing but what? View object is a return type of this getView method. Okay, now we'll test the application up to this. Just we create a gallery component we created, and we created the user interface inside the individual item in which format you want to display. We specified the XML file we specified, and we are returning that XML file we are returning as a view object. So we'll test the application up to this. Let's see the output. Then after that we'll write the next logic we'll write. Let's run the application. So don't forget to add the permissions. In my device will take reading the storage information without adding any permission, but a lot of devices will not support this functionality. So better add a permission in manifest.xml. Okay. See here, app is installed. Here we got the video view component we got the video view component we got, and once if you slide, then include the second item we'll get the third item, fourth item. So it's a horizontal format. Horizontal, if you want to present any UI, then we use a component called what? Gallery component we use. First item, second item, third and fourth. Okay. Now our requirement is for this video view component, we have to specify the actual video file we have to specify, which is available in that video songs folder. We got there are 4 video files are there. That's why we got the four individual items we got here. Now the requirement is whenever user tick the checkbox, then we have to start playing that video file. When user untick the checkbox, then we have to stop playing that video file. We have to stop playing. This logic we have to write now. So now see here inside this getView method. In this getView method, so this XML file, the view object contains 2 UI components. One is a video view component. Second thing is nothing but checkbox. Get these 2 UI components into this getView method. So what is the first one? Video view component we created in the XML. Get that video view component into Java code. Video view is equals to video view. And explicitly we had to specify this video view component is available in the individual view XML. Where we store that individual view XML? In the view object, right? So we had to specify view object.find view by ID, meaning it's going to search for the device, search for the component in this XML file. Whatever the XML file is specified in the view object is specified v.find view by ID. r.id. So video view 1 at the video view and get the checkbox component also into the Java code. r.id. checkbox 1. So get these 2 components into your getView method. Okay. So for this video view component, I want to set the video file path I want to specify. For this video view component, I want to set that a video file path I want to set for this video view component. So video view dot, there is a method called set video path is a method. Video view dot, what is the method name? Set video path is a method. Set video path is a method. See, globally we declared the object for path, we declared the object. Globally we declared the object for this path and which is available up to this my videos folder. And inside this my videos folder, how many videos are available? We stored the file names we stored into an array we stored. What is array name? Files is the array name, right? Outside means, you want to play the video file from internet, via internet. So through internet, if you want to play, yes, you can play the video file internet also. But at the time, what you had to do, you had to create a string array we created, right? We had to declare like this: create a string array. Files is equals to new string array. Specify the video file URLs in this array here. For example, video file URL1, video file URL 2, so video file URL 3. Like this, you can specify the n number of video files you can specify. The same method you can use. Set video path is a method. Either you can specify the video file path or network URL you can specify. How can you get from your laptop? Because you are testing the app in your phone, right? If it is internet, then we can get. Okay, set video path. We already specified the path. We specified up to that video songs folder. Inside that my videos folder, get the individual file based on the position. Okay, so we specified the video source. We specified where the video, which video file you want to play, and that video file name we want to set to this checkbox component. We get a checkbox, right? We'll set that file name. We'll set to the checkbox component. We'll set the file name. So cb1 dot, checkbox dot, there is a method called set text is a method. Sorry. Second. cb1 dot, there is a method called what? Set text is a method. I want to set the file name. I want to set to this checkbox component. Specify, if you want to get only file name, specify files of position. Only you'll get the file name you'll get. Okay. Next, last logic we had, right? That is, we specified the video file path, we specified the file name, we specified the checkbox component also we specified. Now the requirement is, whenever user select the checkbox, whenever user tick the checkbox, start playing the video file. When user untick the checkbox, stop playing the video file. When user tick the checkbox, start playing the video file. When user untick the checkbox, then we have to stop playing the video file. This checkbox is having an event called checked changed event. This checkbox is having an event called what? Checked changed event. If you want to get this event, we had to configure this listener. We had to configure checkbox dot set on checked change listener. Checkbox dot, what is the method name? On checked change listener is a method. What is the input parameter for this? If you see here, what is the input parameter? On checked change listener is an input parameter. On checked change listener is the input parameter. So we had to specify the object of on checked change listener. Checkbox dot set on checked change listener. So we had to specify the object of what? On checked change listener class object had to specify. I'll repeat once again. You see, this checkbox is having an event called what? Checked changer event. To get this event, we have to configure this listener. We have to configure on checked change listener. See, what is the input parameter for this method? Input parameter for this method is nothing but object of on checked change listener is the input parameter. So we have to specify the object of on checked change listener. We have to specify the object of on checked change listener. Meaning when you tick the checkbox or when you untick the checkbox, it's going to call this on checked change method is going to call. Now in this on checked change method, the second parameter here, in this on checked change method is nothing but Boolean type. This Boolean type is checked is there, right? This is checked will tell you whether user is selected a checkbox or user is unticked the checkbox. Okay, if is checked, so here we had to write the logic here. If is checked, meaning if user is selected the checkbox. If is checked, then else, and if user untick the checkbox. If user is tick the checkbox, then we have to start playing the video file. So video view dot, there is a method called start is a method to start playing the video. When user untick the checkbox, in the else block, video view dot stop is a method to stop playing the video files. Video view dot start and video view dot stop playing the video files. Video view dot start and video view dot stop playing the video files. That's it. Okay, but as per what we'll do is we'll apply some padding property. We'll apply for this gallery component. Padding means nothing but a margin property in all the sides. Okay, a padding property I applied, 10 dp I applied, meaning in all the sides you'll get what? How much space? 10 dp of a margin you'll get in all the space, in all the sizes. Gallery 10 dp. Not for gallery. In the individual view, you'll apply padding. Okay. I mean, I applied a margin property, applied, that's it. Checkbox is having an event called checked changer event, right? Checkbox is having an event called what? Checked changer event, meaning either user will tick the checkbox or user untick the checkbox. User tick the checkbox or user untick the checkbox. If you want to get that event, we had to configure this listener. We had to configure, that is checkbox dot. There is a method called what? Set onChecked change listener is a method. What is the method name? OnChecked change listener is a method. Set onChecked change listener. Input parameter for this method is nothing but object of onChange listener. OnChecked change listener. So we had to create the object. How we'll create the object? By using new operator. For which class we had to create the object? OnChecked change listener, right? We had to specify the object of OnChecked change listener class object. We had to specify. Just click on this interface. It's an interface. OnChecked change listener is an interface which is having a method called OnChecked changer method, which is having an abstract method called what? OnChecked changer method. So we require the second parameter we require, that is Boolean type. This Boolean type will tell you whether user is selected the checkbox or user is unticked the checkbox. Our requirement is what? When user tick the checkbox, when we had to start playing the video file, right? Meaning if is checked, because is checked is a Boolean type, right? Meaning if is checked is true, user is tick the checkbox, then we have to start playing the video file. So video view dot, what is the method name? Start is a method to start playing the video file. Else video view dot stop is a method to stop playing the video files. The first parameter is nothing but if you want to change the text if you want to change, or if you want to change some properties, checkbox property, if you want to change, then we use this first parameter we use, component button. Like you want to change the text of the checkbox, then which component we use? We can use the first component, we can use button view dot set text, set color. So I mean the checkbox, this component button is nothing but the checkbox component and we'll get here. Okay, because this OnChecked change listener is not only for checkbox. There are other UI components are there, like switch button. Switch is one button. For switch button, for checkbox, there are few other components are there. Toggle button. Even for those components also we use this same property we use, set OnChecked change listener. So to which component you will apply this listener, that component object will get as an input parameter. That's why they specified the input type as component button. If it is only for checkbox, then they will give the input as checkbox. It's not only for checkbox. I mean, this listener is not only for checkbox. This listener is applicable for other methods, other UI components also. That's why they are giving the input parameter as component button. I mean, to which component you specified this listener, that UI component will get as an input. It may be a checkbox, or it may be a toggle button, or it may be a switch button. Okay. So should I run the application? So when user tick the checkbox, start playing. When user untick the checkbox, stop playing the video first. Let's run the code. Okay. So we got the output we got. We created a gallery component we created. I'll turn the orientation, I'll turn. This is the first video file. So Chitra movie songs. Second thing is my video file what is .3gb. So once if you select this, then it'll start playing the video file.
So hi, this is Mahesh, working as a senior software
If you
engineer.
untick the checkbox, then it will stop playing the video file. If you tick the checkbox, it will start playing the video file. If you untick the checkbox, then it will stop playing the video file. The third video file, Endukama Prema something. This is the fourth video file, nani.mp4. Okay. So once if you select this checkbox, then it will start playing the video file. If you untick the checkbox, then it will stop playing the video files. If you untick the checkbox, then it will start playing the video files. So when you tick the checkbox, then start playing the video files. This is what? A gallery component. So horizontal, if you want to present any data, then we use a component called what? A gallery component we use. So vertically, if you want to present the data, then we use a list view component we use. Okay. So now there is one more UI component. Vertically, if you want to present, use list view. Horizontally, if you want to present, use gallery component. If you want to present the data in both directions, I mean, my requirement is I want to present the data not only in a linear format, not only in horizontal format. In both formats, I want to present. In both formats, you want to present. I mean, in this format, in a grid format, you want to present the data. Then which UI component we use? In a grid format, you want to present the data. Then which component we use? We use a component called what? Gridview component we use. So if you want to present the data in a combination of horizontal as well as vertical, then we use a component called what? Gridview component we use. But if you want to present the gridview component, okay, let's see. So here also we use custom adapter only we use even for gridview also. So in the activity XML file, just only one change I'll do here. In place of the gallery component, I want to present the data in a gridview component I want to present. That's it. Just only I changed in our previous example. In place of the gallery component, I changed to what? A gridview component I changed. That is one thing. Okay. Now in your activity XML file, in place of this gallery component, we had to specify what? A gridview component we had to specify. That's it. In place of the gallery component, a gridview component I'll change. That is only the change was. From gallery to I changed to what? Gridview component I changed. But here another change is nothing but for gridview component, one important parameter is nothing but the number of columns. Meaning in how many columns you want to present the data. Of course, you need to specify the rows. Based on the number of items, automatically it's going to arrange the rows. But you have to specify the number of columns you have to specify. You want to arrange the data in 3 columns, or you want to arrange the data in 4 columns or 5 columns. In how many columns you want to present the data, we have to specify the number of columns you have to specify. For example, I want to present the data in 2 columns. I want to present the data. Let's specify here. Number of columns is equals to 2 I specified. Number of columns is equals to what? 2 I specified. So I want to present the data in 2 columns. I want to present the data. Remaining everything is same boss. If you run the application, you'll get the output you will get. But we'll decrease the size of this video view component will decrease because 200 means it's very large size and we cannot display 2 items. You cannot display in case of gallery component. I'm changing this one to 120 dp. I'm changing, or yeah, 120 is fine. 120 dp is the width and 120 is the height. And here also specifying the file size as 120 dp is the width and 40 dp is the height. 40 dp is very small. Let's make it 50. So now we change to Gridview component. We changed. I mean, in a single column, we want to present 2 rows. We want to present in a single column. So maybe 200 means large size. So that's why I changed to 120 dp. I changed. That's it. Now let's run the application. Let's run the application. We change the list view component. We change to grid view component. We change. That's it. Okay. Let's run the application. Remaining everything is same. I'm not touching the adapter class. I'm not touching. Just only XML file we changed from Gridview to gallery to Gridview. So in the activity UI component, I got the Gridview component I got in place of gallery. That's it. Let's run the application. It is only the change we did. See, app is installed. Okay. Now we got a this is a Gridview component. This is what? A Gridview component. Data is presented in a grid format. The data is presented. So once if you tick the checkbox, it will start playing the video file. Now I selected 3 files I selected.
This is Mahesh, working as a senior software engineer
That's what the logic written.
on Java and Android related technology.
That's what the logic written. So if you tick the checkbox, then it will start playing the video file. If you untick the checkbox, then stop playing the video file. Okay. This is a Gridview component with what? A Gridview component with custom adapter. So in a grid format, if you want to present, then we use a custom adapter. So this Gridview component with custom adapter, you can find in a lot of places you can find. For example, if you take this main UI group, the main home screen in your application, the main home screen, this one. Can you know what is this UI group? What is this UI component? It's a Gridview component. It's a Gridview component. The data is presented in a rows and columns format. It is presented. It's a Gridview component. And if you take this file explorer, in n number of places you can find this Gridview component. You can find here. For example, here this is what is UI component. It's a Gridview component. Select images, you'll get the list of images. It's also nothing but it's a Gridview component. In n number of places you can find these components. You can find list view, gallery, and Gridview components. Okay. So any queries in this? Let me know if you have any queries.